Well, it's here. The first week of April is finishing up here, and we're into the beautiful springtime, and we're going to check in on the dogs. Here is our sick boy who's gotten hit and run over by a vehicle. He's standing on his legs now. He's struggling. He's starting to put a little weight on that wounded rear leg, but it's hurting. You see that drop. We don't know how bad it is. We got sent into a crisis mode with so much going on at once, money depleted from all accounts, and then wham, poacher comes. We call the police, and then wham, the police cruiser went crashing over our dog. He hit the gas pedal, gunned it, and just smacked him down and went driving him into the ground the whole length of the cruiser. His hair's all underneath the cruiser, and he got a huge grease deposit on his rear leg. Now, he hasn't been up this much for days, folks. I just gave him a lot of good food and some pettings and all, and he's out here trying to impress us, barking at things down there towards that creek where we've been spies and attackers, hunters. People have been harassing us and roaring the engine, shooting the guns, and just riling up the dog with their dogs. And then we finally met him at a closer range, and we got attacked, folks. Almost killed, and this guy was right here with me, helped save my life. He was dealing with two while another one came met me, went charging across the creek right up at me, and I was running, but I tell you, I had to move fast, folks. I had to move fast or I was gonna die. And then a couple weeks later, oh God, this guy saved my life as three others charged me, and a white one came up within 10 foot of me right head on, and he just headed him off and chased him down. It's all display to him. He runs up to 10 miles a day with me back and forth between the lakes. That was up until this last Friday when this police cruiser ran over him and mowed him down like he was just nothing but a piece of worthless crap to him, and they're not paying a penny so far. I mean, that's what we've been told a couple of times. They're not paying nothing. So, wow, I went and spent $175 at the vet, expecting to get diagnosis, and I was so tense, just bracing to speak with a doctor, look at her in the eyes and try to really find out what really happened. First she was asking about money, and I'm saying, look, please first tell me what's happening. And I find out, well, I paid $175 and they didn't even do x-rays. They didn't do x-rays. They took all my money and they didn't even do x-rays. Sorry, I'm new to this. When I've been to the emergency room, and I have been recently with the stress I've been under, I think there's a couple things that have happened, folks, but I've got x-rays, all right? They give the x-rays and they give you the results on the spot, so we still don't know if we got a dislocated hip, fractured bones up inside here. We don't think it's the lower bones, but up inside here, oh my God, there's trouble, folks. There's trouble and intense pain. But he's known to lay down and rest. He's doing that. He's been doing that. I wanted to talk to you a bit about this because some of you are just, with us on this, and you've got guardian dogs and goats. So most of the people who follow us, I believe, are people who have goats and dogs, but working dogs. But for the rest of you who don't really understand these dogs, and others of you who have the house-type dogs, look at him, poor thing. They're different lifestyles, folks. This dog doesn't want to be inside some house at night. He wants to be out here protecting us, barking at any little thing that's going on. That's what turns him on. That's what feeds his entire purpose for being. Just as my entire purpose for being is the health and happiness of these animals, and providing plenty of land and adequate fencing and protection, which is just incredible amounts of work on 75 acres, 2 disjoint properties with swamps and lakes and berms, and in the flood zone with sand and gravel, all kinds of things going on. Fencing is not easy. It takes a lot of money, tens of thousands. I'm wrong with it. It's going over $100,000. If you got the labor, we're way over $100,000 in fencing. And we're still at the early stages on this property. There's so much more fencing to do. I'm so glad he looks like he's getting a little use on it. He's playing with it a bit there. I mean, maybe that's a good sign. But I'm telling you, folks, this dog is out here barking. He's out here to protect us. Even though he's almost killed, terrifying that a huge vehicle like that, all of a sudden, after this guy's over 2 years old, the first time in his life that one of these vehicles attacks him. When I drive in at night, and he's had access out here, he comes and greets me. Here's my engine. He knows I'm coming home, and he comes and he'll dance around the car. I'll come up here. Yeah, he'll come up in front of the car. He'll twirl around a bit. And you know, you got to hear on him. You're driving in slow, and everything's fine, folks. He doesn't follow me when I leave. He's trained to stay. He never goes down that way. But he'll run between the two properties 10 times in a day. It's a mile each way. It's a total of 2 miles round trip. So, I mean, it's typically more like 5 times in a day, maybe at the most, that he'll run with me. I don't usually go 10 times in between the properties. But, you know, that's 10 miles of running. You've seen some of the videos of him running. He's phenomenal. So, what's the problem? So a vehicle leaves that this guy's got a sense for people. Okay, he knows if the person is threatening or something by what's in their mind, he can read it. The way they stand, everything. This dog has never, ever, ever growled at a person or bit a person. When some people have stood there and it's been kind of uncertain, maybe he's standing strong and all, but he's never been showing any vicious or threatening tendencies. But when an unknown vehicle leaves, or comes or leaves, he's going to go out and greet it and maybe move around it a bit. Why the hell would anyone just accelerate and run over the poor dog like that? Folks, never assume certain levels of intelligence or knowledge in anyone. Common sense is not existent. It's not common. You can't say that everyone should have a certain level of common sense. People are really messed up out there. We talked to another one who did. We talked to a police deputy, a sheriff deputy who came out from Florida, and man, he got it right away. I mean, and he has a Pyrenees. He has baby goats. He knows you don't go driving off like that and running over the dog. These people don't have training. They don't have training, or they've got, you know, they're hitting them on purpose. We don't know. There's certain indications around the whole thing that everyone's got to look at the facts. But this dog knows what's in someone's mind. And, I mean, incredibly, if any of you please chime in, you that have Pyrenees, tell us how these dogs have a sense for people, whether they're a threat or not. It's how they interact with you, how they speak with you, how they hold their body and everything. These guys are incredibly intelligent. They sense all that stuff. This is a beautiful dog, folks. This dog is just so loving. We had a previous white dog that some people kidnapped, and they were petting it and caring for it and everything. They kidnapped it and took it as their own, even though we had television, not television, we had radio, we had newspaper ads, we contacted any agency or any rescues and dog shelters. We put posters up all over streets at grocery stores. It took well over a month and a half was it, before we got a call from a neighbor who told them, check out the White House down on that road down there. And I tried to check it out but couldn't find it, and then spoke with her again and then kind of honed in on which White House it is. Drove up there and I called the police, the local city police, the town police. Had them on the phone as I was driving right up there, saying, because I saw a flash of a white dog in the back. And I said, I better make my move now, because they could just put it in the house and hide it right now. I better walk up there with a poster in my hand, lost dog with a picture, and with the police on the phone in my hand, and I did. Caught him in the act. They acknowledged, oh yeah, this guy must be the owner. Okay, they're grooming it and everything, and just... It wasn't until about 3 days later, 3 days later, I realized that they cut the balls right out of him, folks. They castrated that poor dog who was the kingpin of our entire operation with breeding guardian dogs, because that's part of what we do out here. We're looking to breed guardian dogs to protect goats on conservation lands on thousands of acres in the future. And he was the most beautiful guardian dog, Max. He was down in Florida. He was on multiple acres of different sites guarding the goats, and he was just phenomenal, folks. So sad that they castrated him, and he subsequently he altered him completely. Ended up getting in a fight with some other dog we took on. He ended up getting injured. He ended up dying, and it was just horrible. It's horrible how they cruelly eliminated that dog from our whole future, and his no more offspring from him or anything. It was over. No more breeding. So long story short, we're 4 or 5 years ahead now, and I've got a few pups from a local, some Latinos who had the dogs guarding their turkeys, and they had a nice big chain link fence, and they were guarding turkeys and some other critters in there. And I got, can't remember how many it was at once. It was just one. I know I had one beautiful white one, and he was killed by the loggers out here, right when all of a sudden they showed up and cut down all the trees out here. And he would bark at him a bit, but we all know what happened. They fell a tree on him, they killed him, and then disposed of his body. What are you gonna do? Complain? I never complain out here. It's hopeless. They're huge, powerful people, and it's just why even? I'm answering complaints. Other people complain. The old boys, the spoiled hunters, and people that lost the land here. Anyways, it was a big tragedy. He was a beauty, folks. He was just an excellent guardian dog. I went back to the Latinos and got this boy. He was a big boy, had a bit more brown. He had some brown on him. He's white with a little bit of brown on him. And he's been a mellow one, and he's grown up, and he's really filled out in the last year quite a bit too. Got a nice winter coat on him. But he's just great, folks. He's just... What would you want more in a guardian dog, He's just so precious. He's not a threat to anybody. I cringe at these stories about police just shooting these dogs like as if they're attacking him like a fierce dog. Look, me and this dog have been attacked by those kinds of dogs. Dogs that show their teeth, that come at you, that run, and they're moving fast. And they're coming to get you, This guy ain't like that. Unless someone was attacking or something, He's just mellow. He's just going to show his strength. He's the kind of dog that you really want in this day and age, especially here in Florida, where, there's new laws against these vicious dogs, and people got to hold insurance on them and everything. But keep in mind, too, folks, that these are working dogs. These are not pets. These are not the kind of dogs that are being petted in a house. And I mean, they'll pet you like this one's petting me, this little pup. You get down here and cuddle with them and all. Tell you what I do, more than cuddling with them, I play with them. And tickle them. They like to roll over on their back and get tickled. And then I'll let them chase me. And I'll throw with them and play them around a little bit. And some people may say, oh, you're roughhousing with you, you're hurting him, you're abusing him. No. We're playing with him. We're playing like men play with the dogs, okay? I don't know how women do it, but I hear about women having all kinds of problems with dogs, with guardian dogs online. I hear the stories all the time. The dog starts getting fierce and starts biting people and killing animals. So, see, these dogs are growing up in an environment of respect. We each respect each other, love each other, protect the animals. We completely spend our time with the animals. They cuddle up with the goats and cats. They love the cats. The cats love them, and they're developed to live in these beautiful environments of many acres, fresh water, fresh air. They're not sitting in some stuffy house with no oxygen and eating just a bunch of kibbles from Walmart or something. No, folks. Much better life, and so much more exercise and freedom. And, they don't have to be fat. People think a dog needs to be fat and meaty. I see these dogs, they look like pigs. Some of these house dogs, you see, they're not healthy. They're fat like a pig. These dogs here typically have a small waist. To the Anatolians, we've had some that look extremely thin. Max was like that. He had a small waist. But they're strong and healthy and beautiful. And just check with the breeders of these animals. They'll tell you these dogs don't even need to eat every day. Every other day or something's fine with them. But you know, our dogs are getting food every day here. But pups especially. But, you know, they're tougher dogs. They're not your spoiled city dogs. I just feel so sorry for this boy. And it's so horrible that we don't know what's broken, if something's broken, if he should have that immobilized in a cast. Folks, I don't have the money. I'm trying. I just started a new job today working for some guy. I found there's challenges with. I got these two other ones, a puny little job, and there's another bigger one, but it's just the money's not coming from it fast. And then look at the tires. Ready to blow, steel coming out on these guys. I've had suspension problems. I'm gonna blow a tire any moment right now. See, look at this. Look at the steel sticking out. There's just financial strain, folks, and I want to kick it out, but it's like $400 or $500 just to get a diagnosis. Then beyond that, it would be treatment. Right now, I'd be happy just to have a diagnosis so I know what I'm up against. Maybe have some guidance in whether he should be able to just walk around like this or he should be immobilized or some special I don't know. I don't know if there's something dislocated. It's horrible that we were left like that. Said they'd pay for it and didn't pay for it and left me just almost dead. I haven't been able to pay very important bills. Company bills, and there's more coming towards the end of this month. That's another problem. This is the end of the month, April. All the company annual report fees have to be paid by the end of the month, $150 approximately per company. So it's a huge expense every year. So this is an incredibly hard month, and these guys laid it on me with this incredible expense. Plus another dog was kidnapped down the road and taken from us. And they haven't given it back, and they're incredible. You'll hear more about that from us later. That's got to stop. We knew that was going on years ago, and we told you the story about Max getting kidnapped. It's a similar thing. These guys kidnap and say they're rescuing it and everything. Oh, it's skinny. One guy, he was saying to that same dog, oh, he's skinny. We're feeding him. So that lured the dog off the site. He'd go a couple miles down there to get fed and petted, and that led to his kidnapping, and it was down the same road, down the same way to get down there by the different people, and led to his death. The guy that first did that was feeding it. He died from some heart attack accident or something down here. He was incredibly nasty, folks. He taunted me saying, yeah, we're feeding it, it's skinny. Go back to where you came from, like you foreigner and stuff like that. Another guy was with him. They ganged up, and a really nasty guy. But he's no longer in the world on this earth to torment people. He died. I just learned about that not long ago. I saw his farm was vacant there for some time. But wow, this is a dangerous place, folks. In southern Alabama, it's very backward, and there's good people. Don't get me wrong. I love this place. I'm gonna fight for this place. I'm gonna do so much for this place and the good people here and what's good. But there's a lack of worldliness and education, a lack of compassion, and there's a hate for foreigners in many people. I'm not saying all people, okay? But some people, they vocally, it's right out from the beginning, from day one, they told us, and they're in high standing, that they don't like foreigners. You're going to have a hard time. Everything they do, they act against you. There's no coming over and being friendly and inviting you somewhere. That doesn't exist here. If you've ever heard of Southern hospitality, and then you come right down here in this deep South, right through the Southern Alabama, it's like, what? Where did that term come from? This isn't that South. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist in little pockets here and there somehow, but with a lot of people we run into, there's no hospitality, folks. Anything from it. I've been in places in the world. I tell you, I've been in Russia where there was hospitality. They invited you into their home. There's music and singing. There's people I never met in my life, and I'm coming and staying with them at night, and traveling on a night train, and people sharing the cherries, a soldier sharing a chicken with me. I mean, I've had experiences over 15 years that are just incredible. I've encountered hospitality And this place doesn't compare at all with that. I mean, seriously. But if you don't know, have something to compare something to, then how can you say what it is relatively, So people gotta get out. Wherever you are, you gotta get out somewhere and get a sense for it all. Oh, poor boy. Damn. I don't know if the walking a little bit and limping along is okay for him or not. But I suspect he's laying down most of the time here and relaxing as he has been and healing. I just hope. I'm still trying to get the money together to get x-rays. I wish it wasn't so damn expensive. To us, it's a hell of a lot. It's just impossible. There's no way. If I could, I would do it. And there's no way to borrow it or anything, folks. I have no credit cards, nothing. Anyways, enough on that. We're fighting for his life. We're hoping so much that he heals and that he can run again and he can keep protecting us and living the great life out here, that he can sire many babies. There's young female pups that are going to be growing up, and we want him to be mating with some of them. And then one of those young males there, this one here, he's going to be mating with some of the unrelated females that we have. So, we are a dog breeder. Yeah. We're not a dog breeder producing a bunch of dogs that flood the streets. No, they're working dogs, guardian dogs, professional dogs, livestock guardian dogs. They're conservation land management dogs. They're guarding not only livestock, they're guarding crops, plants and things, keeping the bunnies out. And they're out here just, making the place what it is. They're just the spirit of the place. They're just wonderful animals that people just don't seem to understand. And while people don't deserve these dogs, I mean, let them have their inner city pets and all, but these kind of dogs, one thing we've learned right now, oh my God, we're not going to allow other people to get near this dog again. The vehicles and all, we're doing everything we can. If someone's coming out, please give us time to put the dog away. There'll be a special place we can lock him down and keep you away from him. We don't want you killing them and harming them anymore. Poor dog, poor dog. You see, he knows what's good, folks. He knows what's good for us, protecting us. That's good for him. What's good for us is good for him. That's what he lives for. And we live for him.